I'll try to be as unbiased as possible. Do you adjust or change how you invest based on geopolitical tensions? Are you nervous at all about what's going on in the Middle East? I'm concerned. Am I panicking? No. Am I going to change how I invest based on what's going on in the Middle East or what's going on in Europe or anywhere else, right? No. I'm going to continue to invest the way I'm investing. I would be more concerned if this becomes more of a direct conflict, let's say between the US and China, or US against Russia, US against North Korea, and that would be terrible, especially for North Korea, because I'm half South Korean. I've been to Korea many times. I'm half Taiwanese. If you didn't know that. And, if North Korea, let's say they start attacking South Korea, all of their guns pretty much pointing at Seoul right now, it would pretty much demolish the whole city. That would be pretty terrible. Now, I'm going to set the investment things aside, right? And a lot of people just kind of like get paralyzed. I talked about paralysis by analysis, right? And I try not to have what geopolitical tensions influence my decision to how I invest and all that stuff, right? And just, when I go to my news source and just kind of like go, wow, here's what's going on in the news, right? And we got Gaza that's going on, Israel that's going on. This is an election year, right? Every 4 years, especially when the White House is going for a re-election or election campaign, there's always something going on. And people are always talking about, the dollars are going to collapse. I've been hearing that for the last 20 years. Maybe some of the older people watching this live stream, they've been, hearing that for quite some time. And the biggest concern, now let's bring geopolitical tensions back into the equation here. I would be more concerned if this is going beyond a direct conflict between two superpowers. I would be very concerned. Then I might change how I invest. Okay. If this is an indirect conflict, or maybe this is a third party, maybe another country that's going on, I would be paying more attention to what's going on with, like, if I had a sector ETF that is specifically paying attention to or investing in emerging market portfolio, right? Like if I had an international portfolio that focuses on, let's say, oil in the Middle East. I don't know. That's not a really common thing. But if I had that, then I would be paying more attention to what's going on with the oil prices, right? And I would be more concerned about direct conflicts. Now, what I'm more concerned about is what's going on with the federal spending. I am more concerned about what the Fed is doing with the monetary policy. Now, you guys know that I would live stream every month whenever the new inflation report comes out, whenever the Federal Reserve comes out with their interest rate decision. Okay, all of this doesn't bother me as much, but what bothers me the most is how much the federal government is spending and how much debt they're on. I think it's completely out of control, and nobody's really keeping them accountable either. And that's a problem. We have an election year, but we still have, and I'm gonna be very, very unbiased here. Okay, I never talk about who I support. I never say that I'm a Democrat or Republican or anything like that. I never say that, okay? We have a two-party system in this country. So you have option A and option B. And I'm not just talking about the White House race, the congressional race too. There's party A, party B, and that's it. I don't know any other candidates who would be more visible on the ballot. And it's the same thing over and over. The retirement bills, the 2.0. God, it took them like over a year and a half to pass it. The one side wanted to get rid of backdoor Roth IRA, and the other side wanted to get rid of HSA. I'm like, really? Just get it together, right? But then when I look at their records, they keep getting voted on. So without being very political here, maybe term limits. I don't know if people talk about that. That's always a good thing, right? But when it comes to investing my money, I am more concerned about how much money the government is spending, because that is going to be a problem. Children, grandchildren, and the future generations. And the dollar is becoming devalued. And I'm not trying to stir up a conspiracy theory here, but the dollar being devalued is because we are overspending money. And the Federal Reserve keep printing money. That is a problem. It is. So either they do something about it, or this is just going to keep going down the drain. And the rate cuts, it's going to happen, even if inflation is high. And that's another concern. And why are they cutting rates? Because the federal government has to repay their debts. Remember that. We may be paying 8%, 10% for a mortgage. The federal government has to repay their debt too. And they are struggling to pay high interest debt on that. All right. So great question though. When it comes to investing, if you have a specific sector that you're investing in and you're becoming concerned with the political tensions, political risks to your portfolio, make sure to talk to your financial advisor and be aware of what could happen if you stay invested, right? So that's always a concern. So but yeah, great question.